Hello and welcome to a little video on X-Plane 11. So, if you're anything like me, we're about 2 weeks out from the launch of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and I've kind of been excited by what I've seen. And the footage looks incredible, and I haven't played flight simulators in absolutely years. Back in the day, I used to quite enjoy them. I was always terrible at them, but the footage that's come out of Microsoft Flight Simulator has got me back in. I thought, right, let's pick up something to have a bit of a practice while we're waiting for the 2 weeks for it to get released. And so I've gone with X-Plane 11. Now, the first thing I should say is I'm a complete and utter noob. Like I say, I haven't played a flight sim in years, and even when I did, I wasn't very good. So this is me in a Cessna. The game's currently paused. And I am at Teesside International Airport, which is my nearest local airport. And I thought I would just have a go at doing a takeoff, loop round, come back and land. I'm just kind of playing around, getting used to the controls. I don't really know X-Plane very well, but for example, we can look outside. So that's my jet there, and we can look inside. The default view's got you quite close to the cockpit, but I love this like 3D cockpit, and you can click on things and the buttons work, and it's great. So let's center the view. Now I am playing this with an Xbox pad, so I'm not lucky enough to own a yoke and throttle controls and all that, although I would love to one day if I do get into it. So apologies up front for how dreadful my controlling of this plane is going to be, but let's get on with it. We are going to have a go at taking off runway 5 from Teesside International Airport, and we're going to bank off to the left and circle round and have a go at landing, and let's see what happens. So let's unpause. Now bear with me. Let's have a look. So I think I've got this configured so that that should be engine power up. There we are. So is that full? Sounds like full. And we're going to do B to release the brakes, and oh god, right, so she's pulling to the left, so I'm using the rudder to counter that pull. I'm watching my airspeed, and we will gently mark, come on, we are lifting off, and there is Teesside International Airport. Oh, so there's the air. It's a really small airport, but I've flown a few times from there to Heathrow for connecting flights. And there's little vehicles on the ground. It all looks very cool. So I'm going to climb to about 1,000 feet and then start a bank round. So let's try and level off here a little bit. So we're approaching 800 feet. Oh, the plane's banking by itself. So we took off on a heading of 050, which, if I'm looking rightly, it looks like it's got a little indicator on there. So if I now bank round, and I need to reduce my rate of climb here. I'm kind of over banking a bit there. So if I bring it back round, so that notch here is at my tail, I'm guessing I've reversed course at that point. So if I start coming out of the bank now, I really need to reduce my rate of climb here. I'm at 1,600 feet now. Probably come back a bit on the power maybe. Let's reduce power a bit. Ooh, what am I doing? I still haven't got used to the views. But if I look over this way, yeah, so there's the runway there. Okay. So I need to try and bring that back down to 1,000. So not quite 90 degrees. That's kind of about. That looks about right. So I'm flying alongside it. So I kind of need to get past it, turn around to the right again, and come in and see if I can land this thing. Right. Again, apologies for my rubbish controlling of the plane. It is quite hard with an Xbox pad. I've got it configured so the left stick controls my pitch and roll. The triggers control my rudder. And the right thumbstick, which is what I'm using now, you can use to look around with the camera, but it's a bit jerky. But it's okay. It'll do the job. So we're kind of past the start of the runway. There's the River Tees there. Oh, right. Let's reduce speed a bit. What's my RPM? So yeah. So just go a little bit further and then we'll bank round. I'm trying to bring this altitude down back to about 1,000. So we're gonna. Should we bank now? Let's bank now. Right. So I don't want to overbank. I don't want my engine getting too low, so I think I'm gonna rev it back up a bit. So we're coming round. We're coming round. I don't want to be coming in too fast for the landing. Right, where's this airport? There it is. There we go. Alright, so let's level out. I really need to slow down a bit here. I'm going to cut power. My flaps are up. I'm going too fast, so I really need. I'm probably going way too fast for this landing. Way too fast. So 500 feet. Okay, come on Mark, concentrate. So speed's starting to come down a bit. Don't want to put my flaps down because I'm probably still a little bit too fast. And there's a plane taxiing onto the runway. Great. Okay, so we're going to go down the notch of flaps a bit early. And we're going to increase RPM. Do another notch of flaps. And gently pull back. There we go. And throttle down. That actually went better than I thought it would, and I'm sure if anybody watches this and has a lot more experience or is an actual pilot, they will cringe at that landing, but I'm quite happy with that one, I must admit. So let's yeah, so the rudder controls or appears to control the plane's movement off the pad when you're on the land. So we just throttle back up a little bit. I'm going to go see if I can park over. Oh, right. Rudder, Mark. Rudder. Come on. So, oh, I probably turned it a bit early there. Whoop. It's quite sensitive when you're using these triggers for the rudder. So there's a lot of traffic on the ground here at Teesside Airport today. It seems quite busy. Now, if I recall correctly, there should be a little viewing fenced area over here. So I'm going to go park the aircraft up in front of that and just throttle down a bit. So it's about, yeah, it's the side of the building here. So get ready with the brakes. There we go. So let's, I don't really know how to operate a lot of the controls, but I do know if we pull that out, it'll kill the engine. I don't know whether I would have just broken this in real life, but there we go. And we'll turn off that and that. Has that turned them off? Avionics. Everything's still on. There we go. So has that turned? That's turned them off. I really don't know what I'm doing. Let's turn off the. Let's turn off the key. Turn off the alt and the bat. I presume that's alternator and battery. What's these? So we've got fuel pumps off. So let's turn all these off. These are all lights. Pitted heat. I don't know what that is. Right. And I believe there's a parking brake under there, so we'll put that on. And there we go. I'm actually really impressed that I managed to get that thing landed. I'm quite pleased with myself there. And we have a look outside, and yeah. So this fenced area here is where I used to, when I was catching my flights, because I've always been a bit of a fan of aeroplanes. So this would be the car park. I would park the car up there, and I would come and stand in here and just watch the airplanes landing and take off while I was waiting for my flight. Because the main terminal at Teesside International Airport, let's just say it's not the greatest in the world. As much as it gets us from A to B, it's not the world's fanciest airport. But anyway, there we go. There's my a little flight in X-Plane 11 in this Cessna. What I'm really hoping for is over the next 2 weeks I'm going to use X-Plane to learn how to fly the Cessna. Because I'd like to be in a position where when Flight Sim 2020 comes out, I'd love to do some videos on it. Looking at it from the point of view of somebody who maybe hasn't played flight simulators like me for a good 10-15 years, is extremely rusty, was never good at them to begin with, but understands, the basics of flight, which is me. I understand the basic concepts of pitch, roll, using your rudders and your ailerons and your trim up, trim down, all that kind of thing. But what on earth is that? I'd love to really start getting more into it. I'd love to be able to learn what all this is properly, how to use these computer systems, for navigation and autopiloting, and because I look at this and I know where the speedo is and the altimeter and your engine RPMs, your bank indicator. I'm probably getting these terms horrifically wrong here, but I'd love to know more. I'd love to really know from a simulation point of view how to operate this aircraft. And I've got 2 weeks. I'm going to do a bit more practice. I might throw some more videos up as I learn and watch some of the YouTube videos. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. And thank you very much.